The world is thirsty. Our planet, once abundant with flowing rivers and vast lakes, is now facing an unprecedented water crisis. For decades, warnings have been issued about the depletion of freshwater resources. Scientists and environmentalists have sounded the alarm, urging us to take action before it's too late. Overuse, pollution, and climate change have converged into a perfect storm, leaving the planet parched. Industrial activities have contaminated our water sources, while excessive water extraction has drained our aquifers. Rivers that once flowed freely have dwindled to trickles. These lifelines of our ecosystems are now struggling to sustain the life that depends on them. Lakes have shrunk, their beds transformed into dusty reminders of a water-abundant past. These bodies of water, which once supported diverse ecosystems and human communities, are now mere shadows of their former selves. The signs were there, but we ignored them. Despite the clear evidence and repeated warnings, we continued our unsustainable practices, believing that the consequences would never catch up to us. We pumped water from aquifers faster than nature could replenish them. This over-extraction has led to the depletion of these vital underground reservoirs, leaving us with fewer options for fresh water. We polluted our rivers and lakes with industrial waste and agricultural runoff. These pollutants have not only made the water unsafe for consumption, but have also disrupted the delicate balance of aquatic ecosystems. Climate change exacerbated the problem, bringing prolonged droughts and unpredictable weather patterns. The increasing temperatures and shifting rainfall patterns have made water scarcity an even more pressing issue. The Colorado River, once a mighty symbol of abundance, now struggles to reach the sea. This river, which has been a crucial water source for millions, is now a testament to our mismanagement of natural resources. The Aral Sea, once the fourth largest lake in the world, is a shadow of its former self. The drastic reduction in its size is a stark reminder of the consequences of unsustainable water use. These are not isolated incidents. The water crisis is a global phenomenon affecting every continent and countless communities. From the drying plains of Africa to the water-stressed cities of Asia, the crisis is global. No region is immune to the impacts of water scarcity, and the situation is only getting worse. We took fresh water for granted, assuming it would always be there. Our careless use of this precious resource has led us to the brink of disaster. Now we face the consequences of our actions. Communities around the world are struggling with water shortages, and the impact on human health and livelihoods is profound. The world is running dry and the future is uncertain. If we do not change our ways, the situation will only continue to deteriorate. The question is not whether we can afford to address this crisis, but whether we can afford not to. The cost of inaction is far greater than the investment needed to implement sustainable water management practices. The future of humanity hangs in the balance, and the time for action is now. We must come together as a global community to protect and preserve our precious water resources for future generations.
Gone are the days of long showers and lush green lawns. The once common sight of sprinklers watering gardens is now a distant memory, replaced by the harsh reality of parched earth and withered plants. In this new world, water is a luxury, carefully measured and controlled. Every drop is precious. Families meticulously plan their water usage, ensuring that not a single drop is wasted. The sound of water flowing from a tap is now a rare and cherished moment. Governments have implemented strict rationing programs, allocating a meager daily allowance per person. These ration cards have become a lifeline, dictating the rhythm of daily life. The distribution centers are now a focal point of community interaction, where people exchange tips on conserving water and share their struggles. Lines snake around city blocks as people wait patiently, even desperately, for their turn to fill their allotted containers. The wait can be hours long, and the atmosphere is a mix of quiet resignation and underlying tension. Conversations in these lines often revolve around the latest water-saving techniques or rumors of upcoming water deliveries. The scarcity has transformed daily life. Carrying water containers has become a common sight, a daily chore that everyone participates in. Families gather around to discuss how to best use their limited supply, prioritizing essential needs over luxuries. Homes are equipped with water-saving devices. From low-flow faucets to high-efficiency washing machines, every appliance is designed to minimize water use. Installing these gadgets has become a necessity, not just a choice, as people strive to make the most of their limited resources. Gardens are a distant memory, replaced by drought-resistant landscaping or simply bare earth. The vibrant colors of flowers and lush greenery have given way to the muted tones of gravel and hardy succulents. Gardening, once a relaxing hobby, is now a strategic effort to conserve water. Hygiene practices have adapted, with waterless sanitation systems becoming the norm. Waterless toilets and hand sanitizers are now standard in homes and public places, reflecting the new reality where every drop of water is too valuable to waste. The simple act of flushing a toilet is now a carefully considered decision. Signs reminding people to limit their flushes are ubiquitous, and the hesitation before pressing the handle is a common experience, highlighting the constant need to conserve. The scarcity seeps into every aspect of life, a constant reminder of what we have lost and what we stand to lose. Daily routines are dominated by thoughts of water conservation, and the struggle to adapt is evident in every household. The air is thick with a sense of anxiety and uncertainty. The future is uncertain, and the stress of living with such a precious and limited resource weighs heavily on everyone. Conversations are often tinged with worry about what the next day will bring. The future feels precarious, balanced on a knife's edge. As people look out over the dry, barren landscapes, they can't help but wonder how long this way of life can be sustained. The hope for a solution is ever present, but so is the fear that it may come too late.
Water scarcity has become a defining geopolitical issue, igniting tensions and reshaping alliances. Nations with dwindling water resources eye their neighbors' supplies with envy and suspicion. Treaties over shared water sources are renegotiated, often with acrimonious results. The Nile River, a lifeline for 11 countries, is a simmering point of contention. The Mekong River, flowing through 6 Southeast Asian nations, faces similar pressures. New alliances are forged, not based on ideology or military might, but on the simple need for survival. Countries with access to abundant freshwater resources find themselves in a position of unprecedented power. Water becomes a bargaining chip in international negotiations, a tool for influence and control. The competition for water has the potential to escalate into full-blown conflict. The risk is real, and the consequences could be catastrophic. The world watches with bated breath, hoping for cooperation but bracing for the alternative.
The price of survival water as a commodity. In today's world, water is no longer just a simple necessity. It has become a symbol of wealth and power. Water, once considered a basic human right, has been transformed into a valuable commodity. This shift has profound implications for societies around the globe. The laws of supply and demand dictate its price, which has skyrocketed in the face of dwindling resources. As climate change exacerbates droughts and depletes natural reserves, the value of water continues to climb. Bottled water is no longer a convenience but a necessity, a symbol of status and security. The market for premium bottled water has exploded, with brands offering products sourced from exotic locations and promising unparalleled purity. Private companies have entered the fray, investing heavily in water infrastructure and technology. These investments are not just about ensuring supply, but also about controlling distribution and maximizing profits. They see an opportunity for profit in a world desperate for a drink. Contracts worth millions are signed, and the race to control water resources intensifies. Desalination plants, once considered a last resort, are now viewed as lucrative ventures. These facilities, which convert seawater into drinkable water, are becoming increasingly vital in arid regions. Water rights are traded on stock exchanges, their value fluctuating with every drought and every downpour. Investors closely monitor weather patterns and geopolitical events, knowing that the slightest change can impact their holdings. The commodification of water has created a stark divide between the haves and the have-nots. In affluent areas, water flows freely, while in poorer regions, people struggle to access even the most basic supply. Those who can afford it can secure their access to this precious resource. Private storage tanks and advanced filtration systems ensure that the wealthy never go without. Those who cannot are left vulnerable, their survival dependent on the whims of the market and the generosity of others. In many parts of the world, long lines for water distribution are a daily reality, and the struggle for access is a constant battle. The future of water as a commodity raises critical questions about equity, sustainability, and human rights. As we move forward, it is essential to find a balance that ensures everyone has access to this vital resource, regardless of their economic status. Global leaders and activists alike are calling for policies that protect water as a public good. The debate continues. But one thing is clear, the way we manage and value water will shape the future of our planet. Water is life, and its value goes beyond any market price. It is a shared resource that sustains us all, and its stewardship is a responsibility we must all share.
Rationing hope government control and distribution. In the face of this crisis, governments have assumed an even greater role in managing and distributing water resources. Rationing has become commonplace, a necessary measure to ensure that everyone receives at least a minimum amount to survive. Water allocation is based on a complex system of priorities, with essential services like hospitals and schools receiving top priority. Governments are investing heavily in water infrastructure, repairing aging pipelines, building new reservoirs, and exploring alternative sources of supply. Public awareness campaigns emphasize the importance of water conservation, urging citizens to do their part to conserve this precious resource. Despite these efforts, the situation remains precarious. The gap between supply and demand continues to widen. Governments are forced to make difficult decisions, balancing the needs of their citizens with the finite nature of their resources. The pressure is immense, and the stakes have never been higher.